I'm here with Sana Zulfikar from California, and you went to Northern California for high school,
Yes.
Southern California for college,
Yep.
and you were early acceptance into LECOM, so kind of talk to us about your path.
So I found out about LECOM through a family friend. They went through the whole LECOM program and they were in residency, and I talked to the mom and also the student that went to LECOM, and he had nothing but good things to say.
Mm-hmm.
And I always knew I wanted to be a physician because I was around, my dad's a physician, so I was around that environment, and it was always something that fascinated me. But my biggest concern was if I was smart enough to go to medical school.
Mm-hmm. Smart enough in the sense of taking the right test, or?
Yeah, like getting the right MCAT score, having the perfect GPA, having the perfect extracurricular activities and things like that. And I found out through LECOM, about LECOM, so I decided to apply because I knew that I wanted to be a doctor and this was an early acceptance program. So I applied and I got in, and then I went to Cal State Fullerton and I met with the advisor there that's affiliated with LECOM, and she told me to apply to the Fullerton Finish in 4 program, which allowed me to finish within 4 years, because sometimes in state schools you take a little longer because it's hard to get classes. So it gave me the ability to register for my classes earlier, a little earlier than regular registration, so I was allowed to get my classes in time. And that also allowed me to take other classes outside of the major that I was pursuing for LECOM. And then after that, I went to the Erie campus and then did LDP.
I'm going to ask this question I haven't asked anybody else yet.
Yeah.
Did you take many college classes like dual credit in high school?
I did not. I did not take, because I know in high school you can take classes at community college and then those credits can transfer into your degree. I did take AP classes.
Okay.
But there's a certain score you're supposed to get in order for them
Sure, understood. But that's how you receive your challenge through the AP courses in high school.
Yes,
and then just because you talk about the 4, it caught my attention when you said getting the 4 and 4.
Yeah, Fullerton Finish in 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And so just curious about, because in our area, it's kind of common to be able to carry some of those hours in.
Yeah.
But I was just curious about that.
Mm-hmm.
So talk about your path, Cal State Fullerton. When you were there, you met with your advisor, a LECOM representative, and that seems like kind of a common theme as well, is that there's a LECOM individual connected to these different places.
Yes.
The path then, was it kind of everything on paper, did it kind of line up once you got to Cal State Fullerton?
For the most part, yes. She gave me a piece of paper that outlined every class I should take every semester. And I followed that to a T, but there were some times where I moved things around. Like I was unaware of like the physics credit that I needed. So I ended up taking it over the summer so then I could take anatomy before I started medical school.
Gotcha.
So that wasn't in the plan per se, but she told me that, you need to take physics, you need to do that, and how you do that is.
So did you have to take anatomy in college?
No. So anatomy was one of the classes that I was able to take because I was doing the classes recommended by LECOM, and then I had room and time to do other things other than just the standard biology degree. So I decided to save room to take anatomy and physiology the last semester of undergrad. So then, because I knew I was starting medical school in the fall, and it honestly saved me. Like, even though it was hard during then, it helped kind of ease the process in medical school when we had anatomy. And I could recall that subject.
So like another benefit to the early entry where you're able to take courses ahead of time. We kind of heard that theme a lot today as well. And so obviously having a parent in the medical field, you're going to probably grow up and know other people. So how do you compare other people's experiences, like maybe like cohorts that were going different? Do they seem more stressed later in their college career, like undergrad trying to get in, and maybe you didn't feel that stress? I'm kind of leading on a question here, but did you sense those differences because you had those common conversations just going back to your house?
Yeah, 100%. So my dad went to medical school out of country, so he went to Ireland and did medical school there. So that he did that because he did not have good testing scores and like the GPA and everything like that. And also in undergrad, like because we talked about how like in junior year you apply to medical school, everyone was applying to medical school, and I was able to do extracurricular activities. So I started like a Pakistani Student Association, and then I was in the Muslim Student Association, and I volunteered my time. Like I was able to do things other than take the MCAT, which I was scared about because in medical school you take boards and exams, and I was afraid that because I didn't have the standardized MCAT test that a lot of medical students go through, I wasn't going to be able to excel in medical school or on boards. But everything worked out because LECOM has such a great curriculum that I was in the lecture-based pathway. So it was the way our curriculum was like subjects second year. So it was like we had the GI system a certain amount of time, the respiratory a certain amount of time. Okay. So it allowed me, when boards came around, that I was able to keep up with that information and then eventually take boards.
It just seems like a very supportive system.
Yeah.
I know as a superintendent coming in and trying to hear it, like, is this for real? Like early entry, you don't take, you kind of dig deeper, and then to hear your all stories today has been a real good deal for me. Is there anything you'd like to share with anybody, like if the student is thinking about this, that we haven't had a chance to cover today?
Just that nothing worth doing is easy, and that was my biggest concern because I was like, maybe I'm not good enough to be a doctor. And LECOM provided an amazing pathway for me to explore other things in undergrad, but also be able to have a seat in medical school and allow me to become a doctor at a shorter time period, because usually it takes time to apply to medical schools and get in, and LECOM was so accommodating, allowed me to be where I am today.
Very good. Great story.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, and good luck to you.
Thank you so much.